You are probably smearing sunscreen on your face the moment you wake up and hiding from the morning sun like it is a plague. That is exactly what the billion-dollar cosmetic industry wants you to do. But the brutal truth is, blindly shielding yourself from the early morning light is silently destroying your sleep cycle and making you age twice as fast. Today, I will reveal to you why your perfect sleep tonight is entirely dictated by the 10 minutes you expose yourself to the light this morning. And let me be clear, this is a biochemical reaction at the cellular level, not some cheap folk trick. Right now, millions of people are trapped in what I call the modern cave syndrome. You wake up exhausted, grab your phone, stare at the artificial blue light, and wonder why your brain is covered in a thick fog. We have been brainwashed to believe that the sun is only good for creating vitamin D, or worse, that it is just a giant ball of radiation waiting to damage our skin. But the horrifying truth is, sunlight is the greatest biological switch for your brain. The supplement industry refuses to tell you this, because they want to keep selling you useless sleeping pills and synthetic melatonin that act like a placebo. Let us look at the molecular biology of what actually happens when you step outside. Your eyes are not just for seeing shapes and colors. Deep inside your eyes, you have specific neurons called melanopsin receptors. When the massive influx of light photons from the morning sun hits your retina, it pierces right through the physiological barrier. It sends a high-voltage electrical signal straight into the hypothalamus in your brain. A regular indoor light bulb simply cannot trigger this. The sun provides a massive intensity of lux that indoor lighting can never, ever replicate. I used to struggle endlessly with chronic fatigue and mild depression. I tried every expensive placebo supplement on the market. I was angry and frustrated until I realized I was locking my own biological machine in the dark. I was depriving my brain of the fundamental signal it needed to function. Imagine trying to start a car without turning the ignition key. That is what you are doing to your body every single morning when you wake up in a dark room and immediately look at a screen. It does not stop there. The artificial light from your devices is creating a massive trap for your nervous system. It tricks your brain into a state of chronic stress, keeping your cortisol levels artificially high while suppressing the natural awakening process. You are basically running on fake energy, and it is silently destroying your ability to focus and heal. To truly understand this, we need to dive deeper into the biochemical reaction that dictates your entire day. When that natural sunlight hits those melanopsin receptors, it acts as a master biological clock reset. It tells your brain that the day has officially begun. This immediately halts the production of residual sleep hormones and triggers a massive release of healthy, natural cortisol. Now, I know cortisol has a bad reputation. You probably associate it with stress and anxiety. But a sharp, natural spike of cortisol in the early morning is exactly what you need. It is the gold standard for human alertness. It clears away the brain fog, primes your immune system, and prepares your neurons for action. Without this morning sunlight anchor, your circadian rhythm drifts. Your body becomes confused. It does not know when to be awake or when to rest, which leads to a constant underlying state of physiological panic. This is the root cause of why you feel so incredibly tired at 2 in the afternoon, but suddenly wired and anxious at midnight. You have essentially blinded your internal clock. Here is the craziest part. You cannot synthesize melatonin, your sleep hormone, at night if you do not create serotonin in the morning. In other words, your darkness is completely useless if your sunrise is fake. Let us talk about the true biological miracle happening inside you. Sunlight exposure in the early hours triggers a biochemical reaction that releases a massive storm of serotonin. This neurotransmitter gives you alertness, focus, and a feeling of well-being. But the magic happens 12 to 14 hours later. The pineal gland in your brain takes that exact pool of serotonin and chemically converts it into melatonin. This is a cellular-level factory that operates on a strict schedule. If you skip the morning sun, you starve this factory of its raw materials. You end up relying on synthetic melatonin pills, which clinical research has shown often act as a mere placebo, disrupting your natural ability to heal and leaving you groggy the next day. The billion-dollar supplement industry wants you to believe that a pill can fix your broken circadian rhythm. They refuse to let you know that you are simply suffering from a severe light deficiency. When you finally produce your own natural melatonin, it acts as the master key to unlock a hidden mechanism called the glymphatic system. This is the ultimate biological garbage disposal machine in your brain. While you are in deep sleep, your neural cells literally shrink by up to 60%. This allows cerebrospinal fluid to rush in and wash away neural toxins, metabolic waste, and amyloid beta proteins that build up during your waking hours. If you do not get morning sunlight, you do not get natural melatonin, and this entire cleansing process is paralyzed. You wake up with a brain full of literal cellular trash. This is why you experience that severe brain fog, memory loss, and chronic fatigue. So, how do we reverse this aging process, heal at the root, and perform a complete system reset? The gold standard is astonishingly simple, yet the medical establishment often ignores it because it is completely free. You need 10 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight outside, ideally within the first hour of waking up, and absolutely before 9 in the morning. You must not do this through a window. This is a critical barrier. Window glass filters out the specific wavelengths of blue and ultraviolet light necessary to trigger your melanopsin receptors. You must physically step outside. And you must take off your sunglasses for those few minutes. Do not stare directly at the sun, but let the bright natural light enter your eyes indirectly by looking at the sky, the trees, or the horizon. What if it is cloudy or raining? You still need to go outside. Even on a heavily overcast day, the sun provides tens of thousands of lux of light energy. Compare that to the pathetic few hundred lux from your brightest indoor ceiling lights. There is simply no comparison in the realm of molecular biology. If you wake up before the sun rises, simply turn on as many bright overhead lights as possible to simulate the dawn. But the very moment the sun finally comes up, you must step outside. This is your biological reset button. By doing this consistently every single day, you are activating a perfect biological machine. You are silencing the chronic anxiety, lowering your evening cortisol, and allowing your body to experience a profound physiological awakening. You will stop feeling like a zombie relying on toxic energy drinks and sugar to survive the afternoon crash. Your neural pathways will begin to heal, your immune system will strengthen, and your digestion will even improve because your entire body finally knows what time it is. This is the true definition of a complete biological reset. Morning sunlight is not your enemy. It is not something to be feared, and it is not a threat you need to block out with chemicals the second you open your eyes. It is the most powerful, free prescription that nature has ever provided for our species. It is the foundation of your entire biological existence. When you deeply understand the molecular biology behind this daily cycle, you take back control of your health from an industry that profits immensely from your perpetual exhaustion and sickness. So I leave you with this final question to ponder. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes and start a brand new day, will you immediately grab your glowing phone screen and stay trapped in the artificial cave? Or will you throw open the door, step outside, and claim this biological miracle for yourself? If you found this scientific breakdown helpful and want to support real, evidence-based health education, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It helps me continue to expose the truth, debunk these harmful medical myths, and share these vital health mechanisms with the world. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.